was such a great conversation we just
Good
had.
evening. Welcome to LoveLogical, DNA Not Required. This is Michelle L. Anderson, coming to you live from Podcast Detroit, Royal Oak Studios. We are looking forward to intriguing and entertaining you every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Let me start today's show by saying thank you for joining our family, which is biological by nature, LoveLogical by choice, DNA Not Required. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight here at Podcast Detroit Studios in Royal Oak. I have a very special guest with me tonight. I have Dr. Teresa Moore, who is a little bit of everything you could possibly think of, but she's a mental health professional. That's what her profession is, but her purpose is to help women heal. And I truly feel that. And she's got so many other purposes. But I met Dr. T at a sister self-care retreat in Highland, Michigan at the Red Poppy. And those of you who have gotten to know me through podcasts or just in general, you hear me talk about the Red Poppy in Highland, Michigan, because it is a home away from home. And it's also a retreat center that's totally filled with love. So I always have to make sure that I give Lynn and Tom a shout out because it's a wonderful place. And during this self-care retreat, I met some of the most wonderful women. And Dr. T was one of the women who I met. And her room at the retreat became the gathering place.
Amen.
That was the kitchen as some of us knew it growing up.
Yeah.
It was the backyard as some of us knew it. Sometimes it was the porch. It was wherever the women came together to talk and share. And oftentimes they helped heal each other. That's where their conversations came from.
Yeah.
That's where their hearts poured out.
Yeah.
And that's what your room was.
Yeah. Yeah, I likened it to a safe haven. Yeah,
You did.
Yeah.
You really did. It was nice, and what was said there stayed there.
Yeah. It stayed there, and it was some good sisterhoodships that grew out of that.
Yes.
So yeah, it was an awesome experience.
Yes, it was. It really was, and a lot of us still keep in touch.
Yeah, we do. Text messaging.
Yes.
And there's a lot of trinkets that we got across that weekend that I hold dear even to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And those trinkets help me to help others because it reminds me of that bond that we shared across that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same bond that I hope to form with those that I come in contact with.
I think you do that automatically without even trying because that's just who you are.
Well, amen.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I have my bracelet.
Yeah.
I have my stones.
Yeah. Oh, my
And I have my candle right on my bedside table.
What about your necklace?
My necklace, I actually gave my necklace to a young lady who needed that necklace. When I explained to her about the mustard seed,
Yeah.
I gave that to her because I knew that it was something that she needed.
So you sowed it on good ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
planted a seed.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes, because a lot of our younger adults, they don't have the opportunity to come together like that often.
Yeah.
And when I was talking about, self-love, self-care, and that weekend came up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was sharing some of the stories from the weekend.
Yeah. Some amazing things. We heard some amazing things. It was a breakthrough.
Yes.
And again, I say sisterhoods were formed because there were women in the room that needed to be embraced, that needed to know that, they were loved and that they were valued and that, not only did we love them, but God loved them.
Yes.
So it was amazing. I cannot take anything away from that weekend. I just hate that it had to end so quickly. But it was a phenomenal time, even spending it with you.
Yes.
Even from the very first moment I laid eyes on you and you opened your mouth and started talking to me, there was an instant connection. And I just thank God for that opportunity just to be in the midst. I could have been anywhere doing anything, But that particular, and I didn't even know why I was there. I'm going to be honest with you. I remember telling Yolanda when she asked, why are you here? And I was like, I don't know. But I know when I was on Facebook, I just stumbled across it. My mentor, Dr. Fuqua, she had put something up there about the retreat. And I was like, this sounds nice. And then Kim Rice, she said, yeah, Reese, we should go. And then I'm thinking, I don't know. But then something leaped in my belly, and I said, okay, I'm just going to go. And then when I sat on the couch and looked around at all of you women, I knew why I was there. So it was an awesome experience. I'm glad that I had the opportunity.
You know, and I'm going to tell you what really got me was to find out how many women were there from the mental health industry.
Yeah.
You know, and that was a coincidence.
I don't think anything was a coincidence.
Well, it was a human coincidence.
Okay.
It wasn't spiritually, it was meant to be.
Yeah.
But you all knew each other to a certain extent, like Nicole and...
See, I met Alex and Nicole, and I met every last one of you all that night.
Really? I thought you knew each other.
I didn't know anyone but
wow.
Kim. And like I said, Kim and I had went to grad school together, and we hadn't seen each other literally in 10 years.
Yeah.
So I knew no one. I
honestly thought you knew Nicole as well.
No, she's in the same industry, but no, I did not know her.
That's wild.
I know it.
That's wild.
I didn't even know
wild.
Yolanda.
I knew that. Yeah. I knew you didn't know Yolanda.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I thought that you knew Nicole. And I knew Alex. I knew everyone just met Alex there, which when you read Alex and you look at what, follow her on Facebook, you would think that she was in the mental health field as well.
Yeah. Well, she has healing hands.
She does.
Yeah. So.
She does. And such a spirit. Everyone there came there with a good heart. And you know me, with LoveLogical hearts.
With LoveLogical hearts. And I think that we all came to be recharged. I think we came to be recharged. And I believe we were.
We were.
Even those of us who were put on program, we were recharged. So, yeah.
It's really interesting because I go to the water to recharge.
Oh, me too.
So that was
Definitely
that's part of me going to the Poppy because, I like sitting there on the back, deck and just looking at the water. So I was going to recharge because that's my self-love. Yeah. That's my self-love. Last week, I went on a quiet retreat.
I saw that.
Yes.
I wanted to tag along, but I could not get away.
I will always keep you posted when
that.
there's some sort of a retreat. But the quiet retreat is during the day, and it is so peaceful. It's so nice. And, of course, there's water.
Yeah.
So
water is my biggest healing thing. I need water. And I need to put my feet into the earth. So that's my place of peace. So I like water. I like sand. And, of course, I like beauty. So,
the beauty of God's beauty.
God's beauty.
Yes.
The creation. Yeah.
The creation. One of the greatest artists that you could ever even. Just the artistry of this world is
blows my
amazing.
Mind. I mean, I'm just like, how did you come up with this stuff? I mean, it's just beyond my thoughts, but his thoughts are not like mine.
Yes.
So, but yeah.
So, and one other thing that I want everyone to know is that Dr. T is an artist. She's author.
She keeps telling me that.
No. Healer. What else?
I think that God's the healer. He just uses me as a catalyst to help in that area.
Okay. Humble.
Absolutely.
Very humble.
I'm a servant. That's who I am. I serve in any capacity, so I don't put titles on me. My title is a servant. So whether I'm serving my sister, whether I'm serving my church, whether I'm serving my husband, I am a servant.
All right.
That's who I am.
All right. So when I was reading your bio, and
here she come with words again.
Yeah, I'm coming.
She's coming with words.
I'm gonna tell you guys, when I was reading her bio, and I was like, she has accomplished so much, and I purposely left out the first part of your bio because I wanted people to hear that you didn't get to where you are easily.
Absolutely.
You had a serious journey.
Yeah.
And my bracelet from the Sister Self-Care Retreat. It says, life is not a destination. It's a journey.
Yeah,
That's what it says.
that's what it is. I believe
And it's
it.
a journey.
Yeah,
And your journey has led you to where you are now, a
definitely.
level of respect. People, you automatically get respect because of how you carry yourself,
Thank you.
how you talk to people, the kindness in your eyes. Love generates out of you.
Thank
It
you.
truly does. And you are a God-fearing woman.
I am. And I'm not going to be crying. I'm not
Yeah.
going to be a crying woman right now.
So you counsel women, you counsel families, you
Yes.
counsel anyone who really truly needs you,
Yeah.
and you're helping people. What made you decide, or what made you grow into who you are?
Oh, wow. Like you said, my childhood, I didn't come from a typical childhood, if you will. I had some things happen, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it now. One of the coins that I use is I woke up to win, because I realized early on that I was in a fight. So from a child being a crack baby, growing up in a area, a housing project, having to take care of myself. I had a mother, but for a point in time, my mother wasn't around. So I had a woman who helped raise me and to, give me some of the fundamentals I needed until my mother got herself together.
Okay.
And so I know what it's like to need someone and not really have that someone there. Yes, I had other family members, but, sometimes you need that mother figure.
Yes.
And so, and I also know what it's like to want to talk and have no one to talk to, or hurting and don't know how to deal with that hurt. So I thank God that the pain that I felt, he allowed that pain to push me into purpose. And so with saying that, I didn't know, what it was like to be, what a mother was. I got pregnant very early, had a child very early, didn't know what it was like to be a mom, but God took care of me. And he used that experience to help me to get to where I am now. So I was a single mom, and then I met and fell in love with a great guy. So shout out to Fred Moore. Woo woo.
Look at her. Look at the grin that comes. Look at the grin.
Shout out to Fred Moore. We've been married 23 years. So.
All right.
But one thing I have to say is that he loved me through my pain. Because even though I was married, I still was hurting. I was lacking something, and I was wanting him to feel something that only God could feel. So I had to go through some steps of getting healed myself. So it's important that when you're hurting and when you're going through some things, that to get healed. Sit on somebody's couch. Get some help. It's okay to say, I need somebody. Hurt people really do hurt people.
Yes.
And I know that early on, because I remember I wasn't the best wife. I wasn't the best mom in the beginning, but the Lord helped me. And he showed me. So now I adore my man and I love my daughter, but it took some time to get there. And so I think transparency is the number one thing that I can be with any person that I assist. I'm transparent with them. I am not judging and pointing fingers. I'm open. Listen, I've been there, so I know what that's like. But then I also know a real Savior. So you asked me how I got here, that's how. So my past helped shape my future, but my past didn't dictate my future, because I was not going to be a statistic. I was not going to be what the world said I should have been. I was going to be who God called me to be.
All right. That's deep.
That's real. That's me.
It is.
That's me.
It is. How many children do you have?
I have one child that's alive, but my husband and myself, we have lost several children. They died at birth. So Sierra is my only child that's alive. Sierra, Delicious Sweets, whoop, whoop. Saginaw, Michigan, 2 locations. But yes, she is the only live child that we have.
You said Sierra Delicious Sweets?
Yes, Sierra is the owner of Delicious Sweets. She has 2 locations in Saginaw, Michigan. Whoop, whoop. We are in Fashion Square Mall, and we are in the Marketplace. So,
Okay.
yeah, y'all check her out now.
Okay. Now, where's Fashion Square Mall?
It's in Saginaw.
But where at?
It's in their mall. Listen.
Okay. I don't know Saginaw.
Y'all look up Fashion Square Mall in
look up,
Saginaw.
Google it.
Google it. Google it. I know bad mall, but it's inside their mall. This is the only mall they have in Saginaw.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah,
okay.
it's the only mall
and
they
then
have.
Here in the metropolitan area.
Yeah, she service everywhere.
Everywhere.
She has individuals that deliver, so she service every area.
Okay.
Metro Detroit, Southfield, Pontiac, Flint, you name it, we coming.
You see, I'm giving her shout out time.
Yeah, she's getting her shout out.
Definitely.
Shout out to Delicious Sweets.
We got to support our babies.
Yes.
We got to support our babies, and she's an entrepreneur too.
Yeah, she is. And
Got
just
her
think,
mama.
and I'm laughing because she didn't even want to be a baker. She got thrown in the kitchen. And
Okay.
from there, you never know the plans that God has for you, but God knows the plans.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew that she was going to need that skill.
So who put her in the kitchen?
I did.
Oh, okay. So your mama's a baker.
You know what? I know how to bake, but I am a caterer, so I cook as well. So
Okay.
yeah, I can get in the kitchen and burn a few pots.
All right. What's your favorite dish to cook where it's coming from your heart every single time you make it?
You know what? I am reminded of the lady who helped raise me, Flora White, and she could make some dressing. So that is my favorite. And then my mother was a bomb dressing maker.
Okay.
So every time I make dressing, the smell of it reminds me of both of them.
Okay.
So I like to make cornbread dressing.
Sage,
I use sage. I do.
celery,
I use celery and onions and bell peppers.
green pepper,
Yeah, I use
everything.
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
do. I
All
do.
right.
Homemade cornbread. Yeah,
we got any
yeah.
chicken pieces in here?
Well, you know what?
Are we
I
doing
like
turkey now?
Yeah, I could do turkey. I
Look
could
at me.
do
You see
chicken.
me
I
still
could do
here.
whatever, and it just depends if it's being ordered, if it's at home. If it's at home, Fred like chicken in it. Yeah, so.
Nice and moist.
Yeah, it's nice and moist. I don't like dry dressing. I don't
Okay.
want you throwing it at me. I want you to
right.
eat it. So
All right.
yeah.
All right.
So I
Yeah, see, I'm gonna have to
that.
order some dressing.
You gonna have to.
I'ma have to
and
order
even if
some
you
dressing.
don't order it, you can come put your feet under my table and eat some.
All right. I love dressing.
I can make homemade rolls really well too.
Okay.
Yeast rolls. Yeah.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
I'm a yeast roll person. That was what I provided for our families at Thanksgiving.
Good. We're gonna have to
But,
come and get together.
But I don't cook like I used to.
Okay.
I don't.
But you still know how.
But I still know how.
There it is.
I still know how.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is like this. We're going through Soul Food Sunday over
We
here.
are, right?
Because, you don't see a lot of Soul Food Sundays like we used to, but they're coming back.
Yeah, they're coming back. I
They're
think
coming back.
family is, bridging back together. But, we used to have big mamas and we had people in the kitchen literally doing that
Yes.
stuff. So the world is changing.
My mother was a big mama.
Was she?
And yes, and, she actually is, she's who instilled LoveLogical into me because I was born into a blended family.
know.
And everything. So she instilled it in me. But it's funny because my mother passed away at 52, but she was a big mama.
Oh, was she?
She was a house coat wearing,
Yeah.
chicken cooking, chopping up, whatever it is. My mother used to butcher half a cow.
All right, now that's my
pigs.
kind of woman. Come
She
on
made
through.
her own. She made her own sausage, hog head cheese,
Yeah.
everything right there in the kitchen. She was a
right.
big mama.
What's up? Yeah, that was up. That's what's up.
And
We
she-
would have got along
Yeah,
well.
yes, you would have gotten along well because she was happy in her kitchen.
You know what? And that brings me peace too. I like to get in the kitchen and create stuff. And I like the fact of being a caterer that I can kind of choose my clients, so I don't have to be stressed. And I think if it became a everyday job, I probably wouldn't want to do it.
You know what I'm trying to figure out is where the time comes to cater with everything else that you have on your plate.
People say that all the time.
Because I'm telling you guys, we have an event coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Love Revealed, Love Fulfilled.
Yes. So that is the Fountain. The Women of the Fountain is doing our second annual Wellspring, and I'm excited about it. So I stand along with some wonderful women. I stand along with Evangelist Raverna Reed Tony, Minister Lisa Blake, and Evangelist Yolanda Roberts Coleman. And we are the Women of the Fountain. And I'm excited this weekend. It is a free conference. We are meeting on Saturday at the Wayne Tree Manor. That is 35100 Van Born Road, right in Wayne, Michigan. We have Kim Butler Pastor Kim Butler, that's coming, and she will be ministering as well. We have Lady Luann Lucas, who will be our psalmist. So I'm so excited. This is our second one. And so we will be talking with the women in mind. We are going to cater to the women that day. Again, it is a free conference. There will be vendors in the room. There will be lunch provided, and I'm excited. And then on Sunday, we will have a Sunday morning service.
Okay.
So I'm excited. Yeah.
That sounds good.
It is amazing.
So you heard her. This is a free event.
Yes, it is.
So, if you're going to be in town this weekend and you're looking for a place to get your soul filled,
yeah,
come on out.
Yeah, at the Wayne Tree Manor, 35100 Van Born Road in Wayne, Michigan. And that is Jesus Christ Anointed Ministries. That is their facility, and we're so excited to be there.
Wow.
We were there last year, and we got a great turnout, and this year we're having even more individuals respond. So if you know you want to come, let us know on Facebook. Let us know you're coming. We want to make sure that we accommodate you, but you are welcome.
Okay, and it's out there on my Facebook page as well. Yeah. And it's also on my Instagram. So we definitely want to make sure that you get the support.
Yeah.
And for those who can't make it this weekend, you have another event in a few weeks.
October 11th through the 13th, The River. I go to The River, New Wine Glory Ministries, where Pastor Marlon J. Reed is my pastor. The Women of the River is presenting REAL. And REAL stands for relationships, encouragement, accountability, and laughter. So we have some phenomenal women that will be ministering that day. We're so excited. We hope that you all can come. There is a fee associated with that. There will be many vendors in the room as well. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what God is going to do in that place the entire weekend. So come on out. Yes.
Now, where's REAL going to be held again?
It is held at The River, New Wine Glory Ministries at 17235 Middle Belt Road in Livonia, Michigan. Come on out. And Friday night, we'll be there at 7 p.m., which is October the 11th. October the 12th, we will be there at 9:30 a.m. And then for October the 13th, our 12 noon service.
Okay.
So come out. If anyone is interested, you can go to Eventbrite and register, or you can hit me up on Facebook. I will be glad to service you.
Dr. Teresa Moore. So now you have so much, like I said, that where you're reaching out to women in the community to help to fill them up, to help them heal from their past and to keep marching forward into their futures. And I love that. I really do. For my LoveLogical families who are coming together through fostering, through adoption, through marriage, the blended families. Oftentimes you have conflict. You may have, some uneasiness that come, with LoveLogical families first coming together. And when I think of you and I think of your bio, your clinic would be do you refer to it as a clinic?
Well, it's a building.
Okay. Your building. No. Your clinic, you offer counseling services.
Yes.
For families, for individuals, for children as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, for any person that is dealing with a crisis situation. And I want to just go back and, LoveLogical is special to me since you told me about it because somebody else took me in, you know? And so DNA is not required. You don't have to have blood to be family. Blood does not necessarily have to be present. And so had it been not for Ms. White helping me out, where would I be?
Yeah.
And so, yes, it's uneasy. Yes, it's a trust factor in the beginning because, when you bring individuals in, they don't know you. And so love reaches.
It does.
Love covers.
I keep getting chills over here.
Yeah.
It does.
It does.
So, Mrs. White, Is she still here?
Oh, no, she was born in 1919. She's
Oh,
been gone a long time.
wow. Yes.
She was gone by the time I was in junior high school. She had transitioned on, and my mother was back. So, she did her job. She did her job with me.
The stories
Yeah.
that she must have shared with you.
Oh, my goodness.
Being born in 1919.
Yeah, oh my goodness. You know what was hilarious is I was a kid, and I remember the washing machine that you put the clothes in the middle and it shook.
Yes.
And you rolled it and you rolled it through the top. So I was
remember that
rolling
too.
clothes through the top as a young kid.
My grandfather
going
had
outside
one.
with them clothes hanging
Hanging them up on the
clothespins
clothesline.
and hanging them up. And she was a firm believer. You were getting up at 5 o'clock. I'm like, why are we getting up at 5? We would get up at 5. First thing you had to do every day was make your bed.
Yes.
You had to make your bed. Then
You
had
still
to
do
go,
it, don't you?
Yeah, well, shameless plug sometime. But yeah, it was very important. And you had the next thing you had to take a bath. I had to take a bath every day. I mean, literally, because that's in my makeup. And do your hygiene. And the next thing you did was you went to cook breakfast. You cooked a meal. So it was important that she showed me on early. These are the fundamentals. These are the things you have to do to take care of your household. Because she had Pappy. I called her Bebe. So Flora White's name was Bebe, and her husband, which was James White, he was Pappy to me.
Wow.
And so they were Bebe and Pappy to me until Pappy died. And Miss White wanted to take me to California with her, but at that time my mother had got herself together and I needed to be up here. So, yeah. But she did an amazing job.
She did.
She did an amazing job.
She really did.
Just showing me and teaching me. Some of those fundamentals I was able to give to my daughter. And it is my desire, my hope, and my prayer that my grandchildren will benefit from some of the things she instilled in me.
That's just that. I'm actually speechless here because I'm trying to hold in tears because when you were talking about that, it reminded me of going down south, and same thing. You get up in the morning, you make sure that everything is taken care of. You take care of yourself. You get yourself bathed. And breakfast was the largest meal of the day. You had multiple meats. You had multiple choices. It was just, you had fresh eggs from the chicken and everything. And it's just to think about that. And did you make ice cream?
We did make ice cream. We made ice cream. We made a lot of stuff. We made ice cream. And I was picking beans and peas and stuff at 6 o'clock in the morning. So, we made a lot of stuff. But the thing that really stuck with me is just the relationship. It's in that kitchen. And then when Miss White moved, then I went with my biological grandmother to her house. And my grandmother loved Haagen-Dazs regular Haagen-Dazs butter pecan ice cream. So every Friday she would have ice cream and I would sit at her feet. I literally would sit at her feet and she would just talk while Jeopardy was playing. So I got some good memories, but the beginning wasn't so great, but the latter part was cool.
Look at the memories that you got.
Yeah.
Just through wisdom.
Yeah.
Through
literally.
wisdom. And then you also learn that everything in life can change for the better because your mother made that change.
She did.
Yes.
And what I love about who God is, again, your beginning does not have to dictate your ending. My mother, he completely gave her a radical mind shift. She accepted Jesus Christ as her personal Savior. She was going to church. She was reading her Bible. She was attending service as well. She not only attended, she was serving. And so she began to speak the things to me that I thought that I should have gotten early on. So I didn't miss a beat. God did not allow me to miss a beat. And he loved me so much that the last day that she was on this earth, she talked to me. She had a full conversation with me, and she told me she loved me. She told me everything that a child would want to hear from their mother that I never got to hear. So after she talked to me, then she was able to go home and be with the Lord. So that made me feel better. It didn't take away the pain or the sting, but it made me feel better.
It was a healing for you.
It was healing for me because I was able to get closure. And it was also... Michelle's crying there, right? So I was able to get closure. And so it was at that moment that I knew that I needed to help other women other people, other individuals get closure. We all need closure.
We do.
We need closure. And so many years when I thought that, she just didn't want me, she just didn't love me, and I felt abandoned and I felt betrayed and I was harboring all of those things, the reality is that she was dealing with her own demons, her own situations, and she did the best she could with what she had.
You said that you were a teen mom.
Yeah, I was pregnant. I was pregnant at 19. I had
19.
a baby at 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your mother,
Mm-hmm.
was she younger when she had you as well?
Yes. My mother's first child, she had my brother when she was 13. And so she was pregnant at 12. And then she had my sister, I believe she was 16 when she had my sister. And then she had me when she was 23, 22 or 23.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she had children early. Some of that was not her fault. But, yeah. So the hand she was dealt. So when I told you early on my story about being a crack baby,
Mm-hmm.
I guess she was trying to escape her pain and the things she was going through. And I couldn't understand that. But naturally I wouldn't because I didn't know the story then. But now that I know the story, she did the best she could with what she had. And so once I found out the story, I was able to love her wholeheartedly. I was able to receive healing. So when she left here, there was nothing blocking us. We had a very good relationship.
And look at who you are. That just, who you are is, it's amazing that every step along the way from Miss White to your biological grandmother to your mother, every step along the way brought you to where you are today. And now you've taken all of that experience and wisdom and you're helping other families, you're helping other people. You're helping them become better themselves, who they are. And you can tell she's got me all discombobulated here because I've been sitting here trying my best not to cry. But you're helping people become better people and to love themselves more, to heal from their past. And that, to me, is very special of being within that mental health industry, being a mental health professional.
Oftentimes we believe that we choose careers.
We don't.
We don't. This chose me. I was created for this, literally. And all this is a servant. I was created to serve.
Your life experiences took you.
It took me here.
Right there.
And it's two things that I live by. Number one, I want to live a life poured out. I don't want to leave nothing else here. Everything that I have within me, I want to share and I want to give. It is my desire to see every person, not just women, not just men, but every person healthy, happy, and whole. Whatever it takes for them to get there, I want to help. I want to be that catalyst so that they can get there.
You know, within the African American community, counseling was taboo when I was growing up. You know, if you even thought about going to counseling, it was like we don't talk about that. Black people don't go to counseling, and this, that, and the other. It takes a weak-minded person to go to counseling. And somehow, some way, I never felt that way.
Good.
I've shared it on the show before. I forged my parents' signature to go see a counselor when I was in high school.
Good for you.
Good
for you.
And I had good counseling sessions up until Blue Cross Blue Shield sent the bill.
So once the bill was, all services was cut off.
But I've often gone back through the years because of different things that have happened in my life. And I plan to go back again.
Good.
You know? And that was one of the things I shared with you and Kim. I'm going back into counseling because I need to get rid of some of the cinder blocks that have been placed in front of me, and I keep stepping up on them, but I want to jump over them.
How about step on them and crush them so that they can leave? and never return again. When you jump over something, there's a possibility of it still being there. You can come back around.
Okay.
So, that's let's get to the core of it.
Yes.
And so once you get to the core of something, then it has no real reason to return because it's dug out, it's empty. Let's not jump on it. Let's not go around it. Oftentimes, we as individuals, we want to hurry up and get stuff done. But it takes work.
It takes time.
It takes time. It takes work. It takes dedication. But you got to know that you're worth it. You got to know that I don't care how long it takes. I'm worth this. This, you know what? This is not going to break me. I am built to last.
Yep. And I know for a fact that I am because I never stay down.
Well, you can't stay down.
I never stay down.
You can't.
And I won't stay down.
You can't. If we literally, if you're a woman of God, we've had many, we had conversations about this, but the Bible says, thanks be unto God who always causes us to triumph. So because we always win in him, why stay down for what?
Yep.
And even if you have to remind yourself every day, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am his elect. I am his beloved. I am his chosen. You have to speak the word over yourself. Because that's the only way we're gonna get through this thing. But it's also, I need to put this out there. God has created individuals to help. Counselors are needed. Therapists are needed. And sometimes we think that the pastors can solve everything. No. Sometimes you need to sit down and deal with stuff. We want to put the rug over him. You talked about families, mainly African-American families, but I'll say families in general across the board. It was a thing. What goes on in this house stays in this house. And oftentimes families were dealing with situations that were huge, incest, molestation, things that were going on, and it had to be hushed. Well, now, guess what? There's help out here. You don't have to harbor that. You get stressed out. You have high blood pressure. Your body starts breaking down when you have to harbor and hold all those things. We are in a place now where every time I turn around, there's somebody else that's coming through a college course or getting their LPC, their license, becoming a licensed practicing therapist, counselor. And I see them all the time. There's help out here. So the mindset that was back in the day, that should no longer be, they shouldn't even be harboring that because guess what? It's help out here. Let's get it.
You were saying earlier that even therapists need therapists.
Absolutely. I got to talk to people. Listen, listen, I see a lot of people that have some tremendous problems. And guess what? We work through them. But at the end of the day, I can't go home and talk to Fred. I can't take my sessions home.
No.
Confidentiality, I uphold that. I can't call and talk about people's sessions. But what I can do, I can pray them and leave it at the altar with the Lord. But then I got to go sit on somebody else's couch so I can debrief. So I won't be all over the place so that I can maintain being stable and healthy and whole. That's important. Yeah, you got to have people, outlets. I have a mentor. I have people that I talk to. Yeah. And then I got a good group of sister friends who will pray me through some stuff and talk to me. And then I got a church home.
Yeah.
So, there's outlets for me.
Yes.
And then when I feel like it's too much,
that.
I'm going to the beach. I'm going to put my feet in the sand. And a lot of people don't have that, but I want everybody to know the help is available.
You have to learn. One of the things that I learned over the last, I'd say less than 5 years, is how to release. Yeah. How to go to the water and how to release. That's where I find my peace. Yeah. Last week, I was at the water, beautiful fountain, and then there was a rainbow. Beautiful. That brought such a peace inside. And I said I smiled from my toes to my lips.
That's amazing.
Because of the beauty of it all. And it makes me feel so good when I'm looking at his creation and nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing else. I don't see anyone human.
Yeah.
I just see his creation.
Isn't that wonderful, though? That just takes you back to Scripture.
He
created all that. He's a mastermind. He's an architect.
Yes.
All by himself.
Yes.
So to see, it's just his glory. I mean, I can look around. Every day I see God. I see something that reminds me of him, and because he is so amazing. And so it's important. But the biggest thing is, you know what you need. We as individuals, we know what we need.
We know what we need, and sometimes we're afraid to admit it. Or
absolutely.
Or we have an issue with facing the reality of what's inside of us, the reality of our past, you know?
Absolutely.
And I know that happens with a lot of people. And that's one of the reasons why I want my LoveLogical families to know there's no shame in going to get counseling.
Yeah.
And sometimes counseling is good even when everything is good.
Yeah.
It's to keep it that way.
Yeah. It's maintenance.
Maintenance.
Yeah.
Maintenance.
Absolutely.
Especially with marriages.
With any relationship.
Yeah. But
relationships take work,
Yeah.
and relationships are sacrifice. If you are not ready to sacrifice, like, listen, I'm going to be 100. Relationship is a sacrifice. You're sacrificing to make sure that that other party, their needs are being met. And so, yes, you want your needs met too, but relationships is a sacrifice. And everything we do is a sacrifice. Are you willing to sacrifice? And that's the thing. And one of the things you said, when I said to you, we know what we need, oftentimes we don't believe we deserve to get what we need. And that's some shame, shaming. You do deserve to be healthy. You do deserve to be happy, healthy, healed, whole. You deserve that.
to feel joy.
Joy, happiness, peace.
Yes.
You
Yes.
deserve that. Those things are afforded to us daily. But we have to be willing to tap into those things. We have to be willing to go after that. We have to.
What would your advice be to someone, a blended family coming together, and you have a biological parent that's not accepting of that union?
Yeah.
Would you advise for everyone to come to counseling together, or just the blended family to counsel within themselves to be able to deal with the issues from the ex?
You're going to have to do more than one thing. Of course, you want the family to come together, but the biological parent, you need to have some individual sessions with them too. Just kind of see where their head is. Sometimes individuals are just angry, and they need to vent and talk about it and work through the anger. But in order for it to work, everybody at one point is going to have to come together, have to be on the same page. I can't be telling one parent I can't tell you one thing and tell someone else another thing. We need to come together as a whole because you have children involved. You have the whole family unit. So I believe that the biological parent will have to have individual services as well as coming together, but not in the beginning. In the beginning, the individual sessions.
Okay.
Just
Because
to see
I
where
know
they are.
a lot of parents don't understand how children are affected
Absolutely.
by relationships.
And that's the biggest thing, being able to separate yourself, put the child first. Oftentimes we are working on emotions. We want our way. This is how I feel. I want it this way. I want it that way. But really, let's keep the child in mind. Let's put the child at the forefront. What is best for the child? And if that means it's not best for the biological parent, but maybe they need the LoveLogical group, the family to come, then that's what it takes. At the end of the day, what's the best choice for the child?
I would rather my child have a great LoveLogical parent in their life than to have what I consider as a step parent.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's me, because that's how I was raised. And it's like, don't cause more issues than needed in a household because you want your child to be loved.
Yes.
You want your child to be loved, and be happy if that child has someone who's going to love them right.
Yeah.
Now, if you're angry because your child is being mistreated, I understand.
Absolutely.
But everybody needs to come to counseling together there too.
Yeah.
But I really want families to start reaching out to have the counseling, have the conversations. Let the children go to counseling so that they can learn coping skills.
Absolutely.
Because so many of our children, they don't have the coping skills necessary.
No, and then they're taking on the world's view of how to cope.
Right.
And so their life is actually fictitious. And so when it doesn't work out the way that they want it to work out, then you have the suicide rate go up. You have the bullying rate go up. So you have so many factors that come into place when individuals really don't know where they fit or really don't know. Listen, really don't know again where they fit, because with LoveLogical, I love LoveLogical. I'm sorry, I
That's
love
okay.
LoveLogical. I love the fact that
Thank you.
these families literally love their children. They want them, and they give them a place of safety and peace. And so, to me, it's more important that the child is in a well-rounded home. I don't want to call it facility, a home, because I know it's their home.
Yes.
That's more important to me than anything. I mean, I'm just at a loss for words with that question because I'm just like, wow, I would rather my child be in a place where somebody loved them than be mistreated,
Yes.
even if that meant not with me. Wow.
I feel the same way.
Wow.
I feel the same way. My mother was married prior to being with my dad. My mother's ex-husband used to have dinner with us. I played with my mother's ex-husband and his wife's kids. My mother always said that whatever happened between the adults had nothing to do with the child, and the child shouldn't have to suffer from it.
Absolutely.
So my dad and my mother's ex-husband, even after my mother passed, they would go to the gym and work out together.
They remain friends.
They remained friends.
That's awesome.
Up until my dad passed away.
Now that's maturity.
And really, to me, it's a norm because that's how I was raised. But I really wish that more families had that level of maturity.
Yeah.
Because it would make it easier for the kids.
Absolutely.
It really
Absolutely.
would. People look at me and the fact that, I'm in business with my ex-husband.
Okay. Business.
And it's business. I learned from one of his ex-girlfriends how to reupholster my dining room chairs. You're supposed to be able to come together. Women tend to have more issues with me than I do with them, and it's like I don't want him. We're co-parents and we're business partners, and I'm going to welcome you into my home, and hopefully get to know you, get to know your family, get to know your kids, because that's who I am.
You were created to be like that.
I was created to be this way.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like I just said, that's maturity, because I know a lot of people who could not handle that, but that's a level of maturity that individuals need to come up to, especially if you're not together. If you were business partners before, you can remain business partners.
We weren't.
You weren't. So you decided to become business. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
good. That was a choice.
It was a choice.
So you chose to rise above.
Yes.
Now, that's
It was
good.
a choice because I was able to help with the growth of his business within the trucking industry.
Oh, wonderful.
Because I had a total different understanding, and that helped everything come together. And it was like, well, we might as well just go on and become business partners. And people always say, well, is there any chance you're getting back together? No, that's not the purpose. It's not the purpose. It's not the thought. It's not the expectation. It's nothing.
No, that's grown women.
We
You can do that. You can do that. This is business.
It's business.
You can separate the two.
And whoever is in his life, she is important because she is going to be in my daughter's life.
Yeah, and that is important.
And he's always going to be important because he is my daughter's father. And if anything that affects him affects my daughter.
Absolutely. And if it affects your daughter,
It affects me.
you. Absolutely.
Yes, and a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
I've seen kids really hurt, really hurt by relationships. And my daughter's been there because of, a few exes that, didn't want to understand, and wanted to attack. But I put my daughter in counseling. Counseling is quick in my house.
Good.
And it needs to
good.
be in most houses.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yes.
And don't sweep stuff under the rug.
No.
Let's deal with it. Yeah, that's my motto. Let's deal with it. We're not putting Band-Aids on areas that need stitches. You need stitches, we're going to get stitches.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Families, it is so important for us to be willing to step up and grow up fast. Let that level of maturity that you know inside of you, let that surpass the anger and the hurt, and go to counseling. Go to counseling so you could deal with the anger and the hurt that you had to walk past to get to the level of maturity to say, I need help.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need help.
Help is available.
It is available.
Help is available.
And there's help available in every single community, every single financial bracket.
Yes.
You don't have to
Yes.
have money to get help.
Listen, you can go to Psychology Today. Psychology Today has a website, and all you have to do is punch in the area where you live, and they are going to give you many faces, many addresses. If you put the Pontiac area in, shameless plug, my face is going to pop up, and you'll be able to see me. But again, every area, there is a therapist waiting to assist.
But see, a lot of people feel like they can't afford it.
But guess what?
And that's why I want to say yes.
Therapy has, a lot of therapists do sliding scales. So they will work with individuals. I am one of those individuals that do sliding scales. So yes.
Explain what you mean by a sliding scale.
When I say a sliding scale, I'm saying that I will work with you wherever you are, economically. I work with you wherever you are.
What about the United Healthcare community plans and things like that?
So yes, I have colleagues that accept insurance. I personally don't.
Okay.
The area that I service a lot of those individuals, they may not have insurance, so I cater to them a lot in my area. So I have a lot of colleagues that I deal with that do accept insurance. So if they call me, I'm going to refer them to some great people.
Okay, and when she says great people, she means it because she's not going to refer you to anyone that she would not sit down and talk to herself.
Absolutely. If I didn't trust them, I definitely would not send anybody to them. It matters to me because my name is out there.
And you have that level of respect. And to me, I wanted to have this conversation because you are the woman who you are, and you have a level of integrity about yourself.
Thank you.
The way you, everything about you, and the fact that you do have love and LoveLogical in your heart. You do. So we got 5 minutes here. So let's talk about your events that you have coming up again.
It's a couple events coming up. So this Saturday, September 28th, and Sunday, September 29th, the Women of the Fountain is having the annual Wellspring. It is at Wang Tree Manor at 35100 Van Born Road in Wang, Michigan. This is a free event. You can give a love offering, though. But we are asking you to come out. And also October 11th through the 13th, the River New Wine Glory, the Women of the River is having the Real Conference. You can check us out on Eventbrite for pricing. November 8th and 9th at the River again, we're going to be doing the Ignite Prayer Conference. And guess what? We're having another sister self-care retreat December 6th and 7th. So if you are interested, look on my page, everybody. Look up Dr. Teresa Moore. Look on my page. Yolanda Scarborough's name is there, and you can contact her for tickets to come. And then last but not least, in December 14th, we're having the part 2 of prayer, the 50 Shades of Prayer. We had 50 Shades of Prayer 2 weeks ago, and it was phenomenal. So that will be to be announced, the location. But again, I will put it on my page. So there's a lot going on. We're inviting you out. Come on out. Join your faith with mine so that we can be healthy, happy, and whole.
All right. So you're going to be healthy, happy, and whole with Dr. Teresa Moore.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the name of your clinic?
It's called Images Counseling and Advocacy Services.
Okay.
Yes, Images with the E.
Okay. So Images with an E.
Yes, and we are located in Pontiac. But guess what? I also travel. So if you're not in the Pontiac area, you can hit me up, and I will come to you. And I do on-the-road sessions. I do Facebook sessions, so we have the capability of doing live sessions. So, yeah, I am catering to the society now, catering whichever way I can, reach the most. That's what I'm doing.
So you're truck drivers who are out there on the road if they need?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Truck drivers. I have clients that are in Vegas.
Okay.
So there are clients all over. So, yes, I will accommodate in whichever way that I can.
Okay.
So that's Images Counseling and Advocacy Services.
So LoveLogical families, entrepreneurs, anyone out there who has who needs a healing conversation, who needs to sit down and talk to a counselor to figure out who they are, if they give me some help here.
Yeah, whatever. If you're in a crisis situation, or even if you're not, you just feel like you need to sit down and have a conversation. Sometimes we need to talk stuff out. Reach out. Dr.
Yes.
Teresa Moore, Images Counseling and Advocacy Services, 248-214-7678. Again, Images Counseling and Advocacy Services. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. So hit me up.
Yes, and you can find her on LoveLogical's Facebook page as well tonight. And this will be up live on, the recording will be on all of the social media streaming sites and will be on YouTube next week. So listen to the dates, attend the events, and if you need help, reach out, please.
Yeah.
You know, LoveLogical, biological by nature, LoveLogical by choice, DNA not required, and you have a true LoveLogical heart sitting here just waiting to embrace you and have you join her family.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I
Thank
appreciate you all.
Thank you for being here, and good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Win on purpose.